When medical malpractice defense lawyers don't have a good defense to the claim against them, they attempt to go after the credibility of the plaintiff or my client. My name is Andy Siegel. I'm the senior litigating partner at Siegel Coonerty. We're a personal injury and medical malpractice firm here in New York City. Once I had a trial, and during this trial, there was a severe attack on the credibility of my client. Just so you know what the underlying case was about, my client had a fall. He went to a doctor with certain complaints that were consistent with a very devastating syndrome known as Cauda equina syndrome, where there's a compression of the neural structures in the lower back. And the doctor said it's just muscular and discharged him home. Unfortunately, this condition requires immediate medical attention, and you have to free up the compression of the nerve structures or else your injuries will be permanent, which is exactly what happened here. My client ended up with a permanent injury, unable to attain an erection, unable to control his bowels, unable to control his bladder function. At the time of trial, the cross-examination on my client against his credibility was as follows. Isn't it a fact, sir, that you're an alcoholic? The judge says, objection. I say, no, judge, I'm not objecting. Well, it's improper. I said, I'm not objecting. If that's the defense to the medicine in the case, I'm not objecting. My client says, yes, I'm an alcoholic. And isn't it a fact, sir, that you've had 11 different residences in the last 3 years? The judge says, sustained. I go, judge, I'm not objecting. If this is the defense to the medicine in the case, let it be. Judge looks at me with a head shake. The client says, yes, that's true. I've had various different residences. The next question, and isn't it a fact that you passed a bad check that landed you up in jail? The judge says, objection, objection, sustained. I go, judge, you can't sustain your own objection. I'm the plaintiff's lawyer. I'm the one who objects. I have no objection. If this is the defense to the medicine on the case, let it come in. Judge shakes his shoulders, says, okay. My client says, yes, that's absolutely true. Beaming with victory, this defense attorney sits down. I get up and I say to my client, sir, do you like being an alcoholic? He said, no. I said, tell the jurors why. He turned to the jurors and he looked at them. And he said, unfortunately, alcoholism is a disease and I'm one of its victims. And I'm not happy about it. As a matter of fact, I'm very upset about it. And I've been in AA programs for 10 years. And I'm even more upset that I fall into the drinking and out of it because, you see, both my parents died from being alcoholics. One from liver cirrhosis, one from alcohol poisoning. So I'm not very happy about being an alcoholic. And I said, and sir, can you tell these jurors, is it true that you had 11 different residences in 2 years? And he said, yes. I go, tell the jurors about that. He goes, well, since I was malpracticed by this particular doctor, I've had no source of income other than my workman's comp checks. And my checks, you see, they don't come regularly. So I would tell each of my new landlords that, look, my only source of income is my workman's comp check. Sometimes they're late. Could you please be understanding if I'm late with my rent? And of course, initially to get me in, they understood. But when my rent would be late, every so often, they became frustrated and I would have to move. And I go, sir, can you tell these jurors, were you in jail for passing a bad check? He goes, yes, I was. You want to tell the jurors about that? He said, sure. He said, what happened is a landlord insisted that I write him a check. Okay, I told him if he put the check in, that it wouldn't clear. And that's exactly what he did. And he called the police on me, and the police believed some story that he made up, and they arrested me for no good reason whatsoever. And I found myself in jail, again for no good reason, but I got out and it was cleared. And I said, sir, does any of this have anything to do with the care and treatment rendered to you by the doctor who we sued in this case? He said, no. I said, I have no further questions. Thank you. That short story is again about how if you can't defend a medical malpractice case on the merits, they'll go after the credibility of the client. My name is Andy Siegel. 212-532-0532 is the number you dial if you have any questions regarding personal injury or medical malpractice. I hope you enjoyed this little story.